Toto Wolff has issued a rallying cry for Mercedes fans and staff after one of the worst seasons in the team's history. 0 wins, just 8 podiums and 1 pole show how bad the season has been, but Wolff has promised the team will fight to get back to the front. 2023 continues in same vein as 2022. After the disastrous 2022, Mercedes may have hoped 2023 would be a little kinder, but in fact, it's been worse. A bizarre decision to stick with the same design led to a poor start to the year, and it wasn't until the Spanish Grand Prix when the team finally found some performances by almost entirely changing their car. But even that improved performance wasn't enough. Red Bull won all but one race, and that one Grand Prix they failed to win went to Ferrari, not Mercedes. To put it in raw statistics, they secured no wins for the first time since 2011, their lowest points total since 2013, just 1 pole position, led 0.014% of all laps, and George Russell's P8 was the lowest finish for a Mercedes driver since 2012. It took until the very final race for Mercedes to secure P2, but for a team that's used to winning titles, that's not enough for the men and women at Brackley. Toto Wolff's history of rallying cries. Toto Wolff is no stranger to rally calls. After their poor race in Bahrain at the start of the year, the team took the bizarre decision to issue a public letter of apology to their fans. It read, "To all our fans, Bahrain hurt. It hurt each one of us who head into every season determined to fight for world championships. It hurt the team as a whole after pouring so much hard work into a car that hasn't met our expectations. And we know it hurts you, our fans too. Your passion and support are so important in driving us forward, and we know that we feel the same pain. The situation we face right now isn't the one that any of us wanted, but it's the one we have. That's the reality of it. And the simple questions are, what can we do about it, and what will we do about it?" Mercedes went on to promise that they would find the solutions and keep their heads held high, but 7 months later and they're still not sure what to do next. This was something Wolff even admitted after Abu Dhabi. He said, we have a gap to the leaders, but the 2 teams in Brackley and Brixworth are so motivated. We have so much good things in the pipeline, so much new things. I'm in a really good place to see what's coming together. Let's be honest, Red Bull have a gap because they got well out of the blocks with the new regulations, and in order to catch up, that's a monumental endeavour. Hopefully, they'll level off with their development and speed and we can catch up. How will Mercedes fix the problem? Now, fixing such a complicated problem is no easy feat, especially in a cost cap era, and if you have any chance, you need to make sure you have the right people on board. In 2021, Mike Elliott succeeded longtime technical director James Allison, who was given a wider-ranging role as Chief Technical Officer. Allison had been one of the masterminds behind Mercedes' dominant years, giving Elliott some huge shoes to fill, but what was the first car made under his direction? The W13. Elliott was given a stay of execution, but when it became clear the W14 was not much better, he and Allison swapped roles before Elliott eventually decided to walk away. With Allison back now in charge, the team have been working overtime to design a better competitor for 2024. Allison said, "You can't promise anything because everyone's working hard. All the teams are pretty decent, but I think we're on a very good path. I think that much of what ails us now is reasonably well understood and we're working to fix that. It's extremely exciting, and Hamilton is right about it being a very important period because all of us have got half an eye on the fact that 2026 is coming down the tracks at us. 2026 is a big rule change again, tears everything up, start all over again, and that will have to be done in the 2025 season under a cost cap. So in order to have the sort of firepower to do that, it's going to mean that probably the 2025 car will not be all new, which means that what you do for 24 will echo into 25 as well, because a lot of carryover will have to happen. So hugely important to set the tone for what 2024 and 2025 will turn into. Allison is not the only one to suggest big changes for next year. During his mid-season review, Toto Wolff said the sails are set for 2024 and big concept moves with the car. The Mercedes boss said, "Our season didn't really start well in Bahrain, but I think over the last races we've been able to comprehend the car a little bit better. Now it's really focusing on what we need to do in order to be winning championships again. It's a frustrating process because it takes time to change the car fundamentally, the concept and aerodynamics, but there is definitely light at the end of the tunnel. The sales are set for 2024, Wolff explained. Now with the car development almost stopped for this year, I find it good because there is so much. We can optimize on the current car without looking too much into upgrades. Toto Wolff's message for the fans. Wolff said something similar at the end of the season as well, admitting there was a fundamental problem with the 2023 car and that they would shoot for the stars in 2024. Our 2023 car is a fundamental problem. It's not stable. The drivers have no confidence in the car. If we can dial that out, we can make a step forward like other teams have done. To all of you guys at home and the fans we have, keep believing us, keep pushing. It's Vice World Champions to take home. We have to reach for the stars, and that's going to happen, I promise. What does Lewis Hamilton think? But it's not entirely a happy camp within Mercedes. Lewis Hamilton has cut an increasingly frustrated figure as it appears the team has failed to listen to him on occasions in regards to how to develop the car. Hamilton said earlier in the year, "I told the team all the problems I had with the car last year. I've driven so many cars in my life, I know what a car needs and what it doesn't. Now it's really about accountability, owning up and saying, we didn't listen to you and now we're not where we should be." Asked for his predictions for next year, Hamilton hinted the championship was already sewn up. Hamilton said, "Red Bull won by 17 seconds and they've not touched the car since August or July, so you can pretty much guess where they're going to be next year. It's not been a great year in general. There's not a lot to take from the year in general. It's the fact that I survived it. Probably that's about it. It's just down to the team now. They know what they need to do." What about Russell? As usual, George Russell is a bit more optimistic, and he said the team were drawing inspiration from their glory years for the 2024 car design. He said, "Yeah, definitely can be tweaked. I think we're working really hard on the characteristics for next year. We're looking a lot at how the previous generation of cars were for Mercedes during the glory years and using that as a bit of inspiration, as clearly that was one of the best cars in history. So that's given us some pointers on where we need to try and aim for." As to what to actually expect from Mercedes, right now it's anyone's guess. The noise coming out of Brackley would suggest they're building a world beater, but they said something similar before both 2022 and 2023. The true test will be that first race in Bahrain, and Mercedes can only survive on their reputation for so long. Another year of mediocrity and they will become the team that once challenged for titles, but not one that does so anymore. As always, thanks for watching this video and be sure to let us know in the comments where you think Mercedes will end up. In the meantime, like the video and subscribe so you never miss a release here on the DRS Straight.